it's a new policy which we are introducing, so that we can install solar cells where there is a lack of space.
Okay, now we will take question from Pranjal Agarwal.
Thank you. So my question for this ministry is that for grant of petroleum, you have increased the budget of almost 3,200 crores, which could also be seen as a growth rate of 50%. May I please know the justification for this?
Yes, we have. I want to answer this. This is from the past data. We have seen the past data, and from that data, we have calculated the budget estimate, and we have observed that there is an increase in that.
Still, like growth rate of 50% is very large, and usually what we see is that in a ministry in India itself, there's a growth rate of 2%, 3%, maximum of 10%. Are there any specific policies that you are installing which would account for the growth rate of a whopping 50%?
Yes, we have already mentioned that policies that Vidya has mentioned in her slide, that how we are going to increase the further the growth rate for the petroleum. And as if I have watched the past data, I can see that there has been a growth in the petroleum sector.
Yeah, so thank you for answering all the questions. As we are running out of time, you can question her in chat box.
You can chat. You can write all the questions in the chat box. We are open to answer you all.
Yeah, so now I would like to request Tourism and External Affairs Ministry, Dipali Bharat and Moksh Chheda to turn on their cameras and mics.
Okay, so may I please have the permission to share my screen?
Yes.
Guys, you can start your presentation if ma'am shares your answer.
Okay, just 1 single minute. And I share the screen.
Yeah, Ajna.
But I'm not allowed to share it yet.
I'll have ma'am, sir, Suresh sir, can you give them a what? Can you give them a host rights, please? Sir, are you there?
Ma'am, please allow them to share their screens.
Ma'am, are you there? Sir, are you there? Please, can you allow Dipali Bharat?
I am not the host now. Sir will be sharing. Just a second.
Okay, ma'am. I've added spotlight on you both, and once sir gives you the permission to start, please.
Mehak, you can make people co-hosts.
All right, sir. Thanks.
Mehak, is it okay?
No, sir, it's not.
You can't?
No.
Sir, since you are the host, you have to be giving people permission.
Okay, I'm making her host.
Yeah, if ma'am is a host, she can share now. Yeah. She can allow people to share.
Yes, sir. Now I can. Yes, Dipali, now try.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, Moksh, we are good to go. You may please start.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Mox, Deputy Speaker of Tourism and External Ministry, and greetings to all present here. And I will present the budget for External Ministry. And for the financial year 23, the ministry will be focusing on increasing India's engagement in world deliberations over crucial matters such as Afghanistan. Another focus of ministry will be delivering the best possible aid to Indian residents living abroad, financially and otherwise. The ministry will also increase its aid for various underdeveloped countries to help them cope with pandemic and its after effects. For this will strengthen India's position abroad and add to its candidature for a permanent membership in UNSC. Under the present regime, India has clearly demonstrated its will to play a leading role in global arena and can be counted as a pole in its own right. Continued stability and prosperity at home and political consequences on broad foreign policy parameters will help India reach this goal. To conclude, in this phase of geopolitical transformation, India needs to follow an approach of working with multiple partners on different agendas. Therefore, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas is relevant in foreign policy. And to ensure this, we plan to emerge a helping hand for those in need. I think that's what a global leader does. Someone has said, right, start acting like a leader and you will be one someday. Ultimately, that should guide India is quest to make itself a great power with a difference, namely in a way which enables to achieve Mahatma Gandhi's dream of wiping tears from every Indian. Only then would it be in keeping with India's core values and national interest. It is indeed the right objective for a great country like India. So I propose 19,500.62 crore rupees for grant number 28, of which 17,750.27 crore rupees is revenue and 1,750.35 crore rupees is for capital use. Thank you. And now I request Dipali, Minister of Tourism and External Affairs, to carry forward.
Thank you, Moksh. Greetings to the House. Honorable Speaker, before the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, tourism was one of the most important sectors in the world economy, contributing to nearly 10% of global GDP and to around 320 million people worldwide. However, the pandemic resulted in the closure of international boundaries, imposition of severe travel restrictions and quarantines, which devastated the tourism sector. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, international tourist arrivals reduced by 74% in 2020, reaching the lowest levels in more than 3 decades. Further, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development estimated a loss of $4 trillion to global GDP because of the losses incurred in the tourism sector. However, concerted efforts are being made to get back on track. The Ministry of Tourism maintains the Incredible India campaign focused on promoting tourism in India. I am pleased to share that the Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Report ranked India 35th out of 140 countries. India improved its ranking by 6 places over the last year's report, which is among the top 25% of countries. The report ranks the price competitiveness of India's tourism sector 13th out of 140, and we are determined to improve. However, some other aspects of our tourism infrastructure remain somewhat underdeveloped. So, the Ministry of Tourism presents to you Brahman, which is indeed worthy of your time. It is an integrated program by the ministry, replacing the current Swadesh Darshan scheme, aimed at developing the tourism sector and increasing revenue, in addition to generating skill-based employment opportunities for people across various departments. Brahman will be a program we start for tourists that allows them a complete tour of the nation, epitomizing our rich cultural heritage. Travel will be arranged by specially designed buses, showcasing the traditions of respective states, and tourists will be staying at exclusively designed hotels, providing typical traditional facilities. The ministry will keep occasional cultural programs during festive and holiday seasons to give the program a hook and a boost. Also, we will collaborate with the private sectors for hotels and buses in order to work towards developing an ease of doing business and attracting investment, indigenous and international. And for this program, I propose rupees 2,000 crores in the budget. Honorable Speaker, the world is facing a serious challenge. In these trying times, when many economies are struggling to revive, our people and our industry have exhibited remarkable resilience. Post-pandemic, a new world order seems to be emerging, one in which Asia is poised to occupy a prominent position and India will have a leading role therein. In this scenario, as our Honorable Prime Minister says, opportunity in adversity is to be taken. With this being said, Brahman is a step in the right direction. Further, as our Honorable Finance Minister mentioned in her last budget speech, Indian Railways have prepared a national rail plan for India. The objective is to create a future-ready railway system by 2030. Once this program develops a rigid service-ready base, travel under Brahman will also be possible through one of the largest rail networks in the world. Alongside, as per the last union budget, we will introduce the aesthetically designed Vista Dome LHB coach on tourist routes to give a better travel experience to passengers. Besides, I would like to put this on record that the Prashad scheme of the ministry is serving the world more than satisfactorily, and we also have plans of incorporating it in Brahman in the coming budgets. Hence, I propose rupees 4,066.52 crores for the ministry, grant number 98, of which 2,066.52 crores is for revenue and 2,000 crores exclusively for Brahman. Honorable Speaker, besides and before increasing revenue, providing quality services to the world has been, is, and will always be the utmost priority of the ministry. For we in India firmly believe in Atithi Devo Bhava. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for your presentation. Now I would like to see who has raised their hands, as we see many raised hands in here. So first I would like to call Diksha Chachia. Please ask your question.
Yeah, it was a great presentation. So my question is to Dipali, that you have proposed Brahman this year. So Brahman, in that trains will move all around the country, and if someone wants to stay in one place, then she cannot move all over India for 2 to 3 days, because train will come after 4 to 5 days.
Diksha, I think you did not hear me clearly. I said the travel will be arranged by buses, not trains. And of
Okay,
course,
so
when you are a part of this project, Brahman, your travel plan will be made by the ministry. So we'll take care of everything, don't worry.
okay.
So yeah, the next question is for Akshat Singh.
Yes, thank you, speaker, to give me a chance to ask my question. So, actually, my question is now we are suffering from the third wave of Corona, Omicron. So many tourists from other countries are bringing that virus in our country, until now we are not having that much security in which we can find those people, and those people enter our country and spread the viruses. So what are the things you are going to do for that?
Thank you so much for your question, Akshat. The very first of all, uh, the thing you are talking about does not come under the ministry, but even then, I would like to answer you. We are facing, travel restrictions around the globe. They are being placed by the governments to stop the spread of the COVID variants. Secondly, the foreigners who come to India, they have to undergo certain procedures, like after entering the country they are tested, they need to bring with them a negative COVID report, and they're also quarantined for a specific period of time. So I don't think it's such a big issue we should be talking about, because everybody is taking measures, and you cannot you cannot stop your life just because of this one single thing. You have to keep moving.
No, because you are presenting a policy of Brahman, which include every person who comes from other country will be moved to other the places of India by the buses. But what are the security measures which you are going to take for the security of the people who are there in?
Okay, so you're talking about them staying in hotel and moving in buses?
Yes.
Oh, COVID protocols are being followed around the globe. I think this goes without saying that we will be maintaining social distancing, and people will be wearing masks, and everything will be sanitized. I mean, it's the new normal.
Yeah, so the next question is for Tanishka LC.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Dipali. She is a conference speaker. Then I'd like to ask, the government of India has been disinvesting five-star hotels managed by the ITDC. So I want to ask, how are you planning to propose Brahman without solving the existing issues? Because in disinvesting hotels have been resulting in unemployment, a lot of unemployment.
First of all, thank you so much, Tanishka, for the question. I would like to say that if there is an issue, there will be a solution. The existing issues will be solved, and parallel to them, we will be collaborating with some new people so that we don't face any crisis sort of thing of as I said, the scheme will be generating many more employments, which will be skill based, so people won't run behind degrees to achieve them. And also we will be as I said, we'll collaborate with new people, and the existing issues we'll surely try and solve them as soon as possible.
You said you'll generate more employment by those skills, but these people have been working for years, 30 years, 40 years. They don't have more time to learn another skill to do another job.
No, so if they have been working for 20 to 30 years, they definitely have skills in that field. And as I said, the employment will be created across departments, various departments. So we will use the existing skills as well. I don't say we'll only generate new skills and use them. Of course, we'll use the existing ones, and even their experience will add to
Yeah, so we are running out of time. Thank you for your questions. Rest you can answer in the chat box now. Hansini, announce the next ministry, please.
Housing, urban development, and civil aviation. Vaishali Prajapati and Vaibhav Sharma, please, on your videos and present your presentation.
Yes.
Vaishali,
can you please make Vaibhav the co-host?
Yeah, I'll ask Mahak ma'am to make. I think she will make it.
Thank you.
I cannot find Vaibhav.
Ma'am, I'm in the meeting only.
Can you raise your hand when you have to present, so it is easier for me to spot you, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Just a second. Ma'am, while presenting.
No, as your name is announced, if it's your turn, you can just raise your hand so that I can make you co-host and put you on spotlight as soon as possible, okay?
Ma'am, I think I'm already co-host.
Yeah, now I made you.
Guys, you can start with your presentation. Can you please start with your presentation?
Okay. Everyone, My name is Sudamana, and I'm honored to be present here as a Minister of Housing and Urban Development at NYP session 2022. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is the apex authority of Government of India at national level to formulate policies, sponsor and support programs, coordinate the activities of various central ministers, state government, or other model authorities, and monitor the programs concerning all the issues of urban employment and housing in the country. The ministry was constituted on 13th May 1952. At that time, it was known as the Ministry of Works, Housing and Supply. So basically, the work of this ministry is the formulation of housing policy and program, review of the implementation of plan schemes. So till today, there are many schemes that is being implemented by this ministry. So we would like to present you few more schemes, and one of which is healthy homes and lead hazard controls. As we all know that the lead poisoning is one of the most widespread environmental health programs affecting children and adults. Study shows that an estimated 25% of nations housing has significant lead paint, dust lead, and bare soil lead. The goal of this program is comprehensive integrated approach to housing hazard through grants that create and democratic effect low-cost methods for addressing mold, lead, asthma, and other housing-related health and safety hazards. Advantages of this scheme is that there will be reduction of a variety of hazards, resulting in 100% reduction of lead-based paint hazard. The second scheme that we want to introduce is metro service, and to explain this scheme, I would like to invite Mr. Vaibhav Sharma, Deputy Minister of Housing, Urban Development and Civil Aviation of NYP session 2022.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vaibhav Sharma, and I am a student of Army Public School, Damana. Today, I would like to speak a few lines on our next scheme, which is named Metro Services. Urban rail transit in India plays an important role in integrating transportation in the major cities, which are highly populated. It consists of rapid transit, suburban rail, monorail, and tram system. Improvements that are being made. The Indian government is undertaking several initiatives to upgrade its aging railway infrastructure and enhance its quality of service. The Railway Ministry has announced plans to invest 50 lakh crore rupees to upgrade the railways by 2030. Upgrades include 100% electrification of railways, upgrading existing lines with more facilities and higher speeds, expansion of new lines, upgrading railway stations, introducing and eventually developing a large high-speed network interconnecting major cities in different parts of India, and development of various dedicated freight corridors to cut down cargo costs with the country. Economic benefits of metro. The metro rail system has been proven to be most efficient in terms of energy consumption, space occupancy, and numbers transported. It can carry high capacity load and people. It's eco-friendly, low energy consuming, and greater traffic capacity. And it covers very low ground space. Faster, reduces journey time by 50% to 75%. Profit of country due to metro rail. This public transport investment can become a Make in India affair. Bharat Earth Movers Limited (BEML), a public sector company, has become a major supplier to metro rail coaches, sending more than 700 to the metro projects in Delhi, Bangalore, and Jaipur. Hazards faced by people. As it is an important topic related to this scheme, the rail-based mass rapid transit system has been widely accepted as a solution of most of the traffic and environmental pollution-related problems which major cities throughout the world are facing now. Metro rail construction activities are being undertaken in a big way in India. Existing metro rail network of the city of Kolkata and Delhi are being expanded, while it is under various stages of construction in cities Bengaluru, Chennai, Mumbai, and Hyderabad. At last, I would like to conclude with our budget. Civil aviation's revenue is 3,334.95 crore rupees. It's the revised estimate, and BE is 3,339 lakh crore rupees. And housing urban development is having revenue last year 3,194 rupees, and the BE of 2022 and 23 it's 3,01,946, and capital of housing and urban development in the year of 2022 and 23 it's 2,05,346 rupees.
Yeah, so please raise your hands if you
Please,
have any questions.
if you have questions, I think Tanishka and Chandrahas have some questions. Please, Tanishka, start with your question, then Chandrahas.
I would like to ask, the growing slums in urban areas is a rising issue. If houses are allotted to them, they still do not live in those houses. They live in their slums and put their houses on rent. So I like to ask, what solution do you have for this?
Can you repeat your question? I was not able to hear you properly.
Yeah, sure. I would like to ask, the growing slums in urban areas is a rising issue. Even if they are given their allocated houses, they do not live in those houses. They still live in the slums and rent out their houses and earn from them. So I would like to ask, what solution do you have for this issue?
For this, the government should allow all the people who are living in the slums to make them a house to live in, and also they can prevent the lead by that.
I just said they are allocated houses, but they still do not live there. Don't you think so? There should be awareness and any other solution than that?
Yeah, there is awareness of it. People should know about it. The government should make speeches about it to let people know, or they can also go there themselves to talk with them about the problems they have, why they are not living in the houses and living in the slums and all.
Mokshit, do you have any question? You raised your hand earlier. Mokshit, are you there? Mokshit.
Mokshit is saying that he'll ask questions from the chat box only.
Okay, fine. Let's move on then. Aish, Jalak, do you have any questions? Please ask yours.
Yes, so in 2020, just after lockdown, we saw mass migration of laborers. They were not given their access to go to trains, and they were literally denied. And they died on streets literally by walking. They went to their houses just by walking. So like if again this thing will happen, like because again there are chances of lockdowns and all. So how you're going to tackle this issue?
Okay, I'm sorry, Jalak. I think we are running out of time. Let's move on to the other ministry, and you can ask your question in the chat. Whoever raised your hand, please ask your questions in the chat.
We'll give the answers in the chat box.
Yes, you should give the answers in the chat box. Ayush,
Yeah.
please.
Now I request Ratna and Vinayak to present the budget of Railway Ministry.
Swatana, you guys.
Yes.
Sharma,
Can you give me screen sharing rights?
Ma'am, can you provide an
Spotlight. Okay, I've added you both in the spotlight. Ma'am will give you the permission to share.
Yes.
Vinayak, you are the co-host now.
Okay, ma'am.
Guys, please start with your presentation.
Guys, timer is now has been started.
It's Vetna. You can start.
Swachna and Vinayak, please start your presentation.
Okay. Should I start then because she is not answering?
Yeah, please
Yes,
start.
you
The timer
can.
has been started.
Start the presentation fast since you're running out of time.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Deputy Speaker of Railway Ministry, and today I am going to present the budget for the Railway Ministry. The Indian Railways will become the growth engine for the nation's Vikas Yatra. This was said by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. Now I will like to Now I would like to share a data, the world's fastest train. The first train in the list is LO series maglev, which speed is 374 mph, and the second is Koenigo Sifang 2021 maglev. Its speed is 373 miles per hour. And India's fastest train is Vande Bharat Express, which speed is 180 kilometer per hour. So we want to see India in the top 8 or top 10 fastest trains in the world so that India can become a global power in railway industry as well. For that, we need a very strong budget. So now I'm going to share the railway budget for the budget session 2022 to 2023. The railway grant number is 84. The revenue 3,290 crore. Capital 1,08,251.67 crore. Now I will like to start with the policies. The first policy which I would like to share is Gati Shakti, which was introduced by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi on 21st October 2021. This policy focuses on reducing the travel time for railways and also making Indian Railways a global power. Gati Shakti will be a national infrastructure master plan for our country that will lay the foundation of holistic infrastructure and will lead India to an integrated and holistic pathway to our economy. This was said by our Honorable Prime Minister on the launching event of this policy. The second policy we want to introduce is the modernization of railway station. In this, we
Modernization
are
of
going to
railway
make an
station. This is the idea. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Was my first voice audible, speaker?
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are audible.
Please, you
Yes,
can
audible. Yes, so the modernization of railway station. This is the idea where there will be an app which has facility of cards known as the railway cards, which replaces paying of cash or money. It calculates the total distance traveled by the traveler and it makes the total and gives a notification in the device connected such as phones or laptops, and there we can pay the money, and it gives us a notification on the devices connected when the e-money is finished. We have to recharge it again with the help of the connected devices. You have to recharge it in both ways, e-money or cash. This card is actually 100 rupees, but for BPL below poverty level, like they can get card for 5 rupees, and when it comes to recharging they can go to the nearby railway station and they will get some discount on recharging the card. This technology is already existed, known as the IRCTC, but if we can add this feature it will make it more improvising. Next is the Power Tiles Yojana. You wonder how this works. This is known as the power collecting tiles, popularly known as the Pavagan tiles, and the speciality in these tiles is that it can make energy by our footsteps. All to wonder how these tiles work. It's because of magnetic generator. So what is a magnetic generator? Magnetic generator is a generator where the excitation field is provided by a permanent magnet instead of a coil. Moving a magnet around a coil of wire or moving a coil of wire around a magnet pushes the electrons in the wire and creates an electrical current. Thank you.
Now, does anybody have any questions?
There's no
No,
question.
we
I think
can.
we'll move on.
No, Dipali.
Dipali and
Dipali and Arif Shrestha.
Ashita, we can take two questions, I think, right?
Yeah. I want to take from Hari Shrestha.
Yeah, let's start with Harshita then.
Yeah, my question is that nowadays, first thing is in railways there are a little bit like not that much clean. So would you uh, give any idea for that through which we can make it more clean and hygienic to travel for customers and
Yes,
everything?
in the Gati Shakti policy, government has said they have going to make a law that if somebody found littering the railway station or railway track or inside the train, they would get fined for approximately rupees 500.
But how can they know that that is a person who littered there? Either there should be a person, but he
If
can.
you know, there are cameras and railway police as well.
Yeah, but they may miss, like they may get out of their eyes, right?
Yes, but it's not possible to catch everyone. There is still chance of error in any policy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to take question from Tanishka.
Okay, thank you for letting me speak. I'd like to ask, during the time of railway stoppage in various stations, there are instances where random people have entered the train and have committed crimes ranging from stealing, robbery, to even sexual assaults and murders. So I would like to ask, what would you like to do for security issues to make the railways more appealing and desirable to the public?
If we include the security, it's still that they can escape the security. So the more we can do is like we can increase the security, or we can like make like on every coach of the train we can put a guard, railway police.
I think that's it for the questions.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you
Let's
for
move on to the next.
presenting your budget railway ministry. Now I would like to call roads and highways ministry. Three Bhuvna and Advita, please be on your camera.
May I get the permission to share the screen?
Yes, sure. Mehak ma'am would allow. Ma'am, please allow them to present.
Shrishti, who are the people for the roads and highways ministry?
Sri Bhuvna and Advita.
Sri Bhuvna.
Please raise your hand, Tribhuvna and Advita.
Spotlight for everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tribhuvana, you are now the co-host.
Ma'am, I added them into the spotlight and
Actually, I'm sharing it.
Okay. You are the co-host now.
please start with your presentation, Bhuvna and Advaita.
Please start with their presentation.
Yeah. Good evening to our respected teachers, Mr. Mehak Mr. Shivesh sir and Ms. Nayak ma'am, and the speaker and the deputy speaker and the other ministers and other youth parliamentarians. I, Tribhuwana, the Minister of Road Transport and Highways, along with the Deputy Minister Advita Hamsini, are here to present the budget for the year 2022 to 2023. The grand number is 85. The budget for the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways increased from 21.7% from the last year. The estimated budget for the road transport and highways in financial year 2022 to 2023 is 1,53,567.419 crores, whereas the budget revenue and the capital are 10,668 crores and 1,37,106 respectively, and the percentage increase for revenue and capital are 0% and 26% respectively. Over to Deputy Minister.
Good evening to Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speakers, and the ministers from all the ministries. I'm Advita Saigna, Deputy Minister of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So today I'm here to present our ideas and policies which we want to implement in the year 2022 to 23. By increasing the distance between manned metered toll booths and the number of sub-booths on the national highways connecting the northeast to south, can solve both the problem of lack of revenue and that of connectivity, while also creating new jobs in the form of booth engineers who are stationed at the main booths and take care of any issue in engineering, and safety officers who take care of any breakdowns of cars near the said booths, increasing road safety. The amount allocated for the road maintenance is about 40% of the amount actually required. Hence, 10% of the ministry's annual budget should be earmarked for maintenance, which effectively will reduce risk of road accidents and increase the lifetime of roads. The budget we are going to spend on this is 14,697.1 crores. To increase connectivity with remote areas, we will speed up the programs like the Bharat Mala Pariyojana and Special Accelerated Road Development Program in the Northeast. The budget we are going to spend on this is 8,500 crores. The revenue system of the ministry is quite weak, so we suggest leasing the land around highways to private players for opening restaurants, hotels, medical facilities, and other civic amenities. This will even attract people who do not prefer to travel by the highways. India ranks first in the number of road accidents and deaths. This can be tackled by effectively implementing the Motor Vehicle Act 2019 with more spending towards road safety and driver training programs. The budget we are going to spend on this is 10,524 crores. Noting the increasing NHAI's debt, the ministry could monetize the assets under the National Monetization Pipeline. This could also create jobs, invite private players, and make inclusive growth. Development in road and transport will also attract a large number of tourists, resulting in more revenue generation for the country. So these were some of our ideas. Thank you. Over to the minister.
Advita, can you share the next presentation, please? Thank you. We have some more policies to go ahead with. The most crucial problem at the moment being the served lack of funds for funding projects and basic maintenance of highways and roadways across the India. The budget hopes to solve these issues by connecting the Northeast road system to the Central road system and introducing an entirely new system for toll collection through manless sub-toll booths. The sub-toll booths function by integrating the FASTag introduced by the National Highway Authority to make easier and more efficient for payment. And we are looking ahead for ambulances on the highways. So if there is an accident on the highway, the medications will take place in the ambulance itself. This will help in saving a person's life.
Tribhuwana, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can you please hurry up? You're running out of time.
Okay, sister. Okay, I will. There should be strict traffic rules, and the one who doesn't follow should be strictly punished. And also, we can look for more AI in it. Like AI can improve the quality of crash data collection and analyze, provide insights on how to avoid collisions and improve the response after crashes. Intelligent Traffic Management System (ITMS) is an artificial intelligence AI-based application coupled with cameras installed at the traffic junctions, which provide a tool to detect and identify vehicles disobeying the traffic rules and generate real-time alerts to the central command center. And there should be no corruption in the system projects of the road transport and highways, and it is every citizen's responsibility to go ahead with this. Here we bind it off. Hope the budget was clear. Anyone can go with their questions.
Yeah, so let's take up the questions now. I see Vinayak raised his hand. Please ask your question.
Yes, thank you. Your presentation was really good. I will like to ask one question. Like you were telling about that, I was not able to because my connection was slow. You were telling about that that ambulance one. So, do you think it would be much efficient if you could like give a policy about like flying ambulance or some kind of like that?
Actually, again, I want to say like the flying ambulances. I don't think so, but there can be ambulances which run through
Because in
electricity.
India, as you all know, the biggest problem of traffic. So, don't you think there should be like some other?
Yeah, traffic is one of the problem, but we can also give a little space for ambulance, isn't it? Easy, like
Or
flying
it is already
ambulances.
there, but no one follows it. There should be
Vinayak,
like some kind of.
Vinayak, I don't think that question is really a complicated question. Why don't you type it in the chat and the Ministry of Roads and Highways will answer it to you directly there.
Yeah, next question I would like to give it to V. Harisheshta. Please unmute your mic and ask the question.
Yeah, my question is that when on highways you said we should install some stalls and hospitals, some like that, right? But before building those all, you should have taken some safety measures. So do you think we have more safety measures for building those all buildings on the highways and all?
It's not near the highways. It's near the toll booths. Okay. The
Yes.
land, extra land, which is like the trees are growing where it's left over like that only. Though, so private companies can take that land for lease or the government, and we can put hospitals or stalls there.
Okay, guys, I think we're running out of time. Why don't we move on to the next ministry? I would like Shipping and Ports Ministry, Nihal Chinnappa and Vineet Sharma. Are you
Hello.
guys? Okay. Vineet. The Shipping and Ports Ministry, are you there? Shipping and Ports Ministry. Okay, I don't think they are replying. Why don't we move on to the other ministries?
Okay, so now I request Kanishka and Amrita Verma to present the budget of Commerce and Finance Ministry.
I've raised my hand. Can you give me the controls? Screen share.
One second, really. Yeah.
I have a second device. Can I get the controls there?
Okay, join from the second device.
It's already there. I've raised my hand, sir.
Yeah. I think ma'am will give you the thing. You have your another minister, your deputy minister.
Okay, you are the co-host now from the other device. Okay.
Amrita is there in the meeting.
Yeah, I'm there.
Amrita. Yeah, I got it. I'm adding this. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, please start your presentation. Tanishka, Amrita, are you there? Please start your presentation.
Dee, please share the screen.
Is my screen visible?
Did you
No,
say no? It's not.
not visible. Tanisha, could you please share your screen?
And we are running out of time, please. So please, you both
The
can.
host disabled my screen sharing rights.
Wait, ma'am, did you disable the?
So let me check. You can you raise your hand again from that device? Yeah, great.
Yes.
Now is it all right?
Yeah, I think you have given the rights. Please start sharing your screen and start your presentation. Yeah.
No, your timer hasn't started.
Shall I start?
Yes.
Yeah, your timer hasn't started.
Good evening, everyone. Today I am Rita Verma talking on behalf of Ministry of Commerce and Finance. After a lot of discussion, we came to conclusion that we would urgently need to focus on the following departments. These are Department of Commerce, Department of Financial Services, Indirect Tax, and Corporate Affairs. I would also like to mention that out of 132 crore, only 82.7 million people pay taxes, and it is too small in contrast to USA, which has 45% of the population paying taxes. Also, the revenue collection of India is must compared to other big countries. These are the areas we would like to focus upon. Rest of our scheme will be discussed in following PPT. Now, I would like to hand over the rest to my teammate.
Thank you, Amrita. I'll handle the rest. Before starting the PPT, I would like to share that we have concentrated on grant number 10, Ministry of Commerce, grant number 29, Ministry of Financial Services, grant number 33, which is Indirect Taxes, and grant number 16, Corporate Affairs. Today's agenda includes financial services, commerce, indirect taxes, and corporate affairs. Financial services, insurance. Under the Ayush Bharat Yojana, 40% of the rural population has health insurance, but we would like to extend this policy to the urban areas as well as and make sure people with less than a certain amount of income also get their health insurance done. So during the times of emergency and when they need medical assistance, they don't lack money and the treatment goes smoothly. Not only health insurance, but providing awareness about a lot of other insurances like life insurance and property insurance. We can also provide life insurance to people involved in hazardous work. So if any accidents occur and the person dies, their family does not fall under crisis. Why is life insurance important? On the column on the right side, you can see different articles reporting the news of various workers dying in industrial accidents. According to the Times of India report, 48,000 people die every day because of some industrial accidents. Now imagine if they were the only breadwinner of the family, which is most likely the case since they were desperate enough to choose a life-threatening job. After the person's death, the family becomes unstable since there is no income. Moreover, the settlement money given to them isn't enough or is near to nothing. In cases like these, insurances help the family get on track, and if there is a student in the family, they can continue to pursue the studies. Loans. The loan taking process in India is a hassle and lengthy process. We would like to make it easier and short by providing financial literacy in rural as well as few urban areas. The interest rate of education loans should be made more lenient and students should be encouraged to take loans instead of choosing not to pursue their education because of financial barriers. Furthermore, we would like to introduce a new policy where a person, if taking a loan above a certain amount, would have their password listed, and whenever they want to leave the country, they would have to get approval from the concerned bank or RBI. This would help in preventing pendency in loan payment cases. Commerce. There are a lot of popular international brands which have captivated the global market. We would like to encourage Indian startups and businesses, especially in the fashion industry, to grow up to be MNCs and support the Indian economy. This also includes skill development and the promotion of small businesses to power them into being successful ones. Encouraging new startups would also increase job opportunities, assisting in the issues of unemployment. For this, we would have to collaborate with the Ministry of Skill Development to make this come true. Indirect taxes. We would like to apply taxes upon intoxicating products like tobacco, cigarettes, alcohol, etc., so that buying and selling becomes more complicated and less popular amongst the youth. Applying taxes to products from international brands makes local items more desirable. Also, we would like to address the issue of gender-biased taxes and make sure the same items, whether being targeted towards the male audience or the female audience, would cost the same. There would also be no taxes on menstrual and maternity products to make sure the women don't find using those items a burden. This would also assist the plans of Ministry of Women and Minority Affairs. What is pink tax? Pink tax is a form of gender-based pricing where women are typically charged more than men for the same product. It's not a tax that is applied on products used by women, rather it's a supplementary price that requires people using feminine products to pay more. In the image on the left side, you can see the razor targeted for the males cost less than the razor targeted for the females. On the right image, on the image in the right side, you can see the average cost a woman pays in the form of pink tax have been calculated. It's about $1,351, which is approximately 1,149.69 INR, which is too much for being a woman. Women's razor are 6.28% more expensive. Women's deodorant is 8.9% more expensive, while women's moisturizer is 34.28% more expensive. We would like to address this issue, which should be addressed urgently. Corporate affairs. The exploitation of labor and of natural resources of a particular area is very common among factories of MNCs set up in these areas. We would like to set up commissions working directly under the IAS of the particular judiciary, who would only be accountable to the center. They would keep a check on the MNCs and the procedures to make sure neither the natural resources or the laborers are exploited. For instances like the Bhopal gas tragedy, there was a leakage in the gas because of mismanagement. Even after the incident, the company did not take responsibility and just flew away. The people living in that area suffered from the chemical reaction, and after having contact with the toxic gases, they still suffer. What are MNCs? It literally expands to multinational company. A multinational company is a corporate organization that owns and controls the production of goods or services in at least one country other than its home country. MNCs set up the offices and factories in these areas.
Tanishka, I'm sorry to disturb you right now. Please complete your presentation fast.
Yeah, definitely.
Out of time. Please, fast.
Yeah, definitely. It's just over. Offices and factories in those regions where they get cheap labor and the other resources because they bring down the cost of production and ensure more profits for themselves. There is no limit to human greed. They would want more and they would end up hiring laborers for a cheap cost, which is way below the minimum working wage, that is INR 176 per day and INR 4,576 per month. The laborers agree to work below the minimum working wage because they are not aware of the working wage. Second, the unemployment rate in India is so much, especially in the rural areas, that people are all ready to work at any cost. If they don't accept that salary and ask for more, someone else will take it. This leads to their exploitation. As you know, their minimum wage is so low. On top of it, they are given much less than what is supposed to be given. Imagine the financial crisis they must be in. How would they pay their bills? How would they fulfill their aspirations if they are just barely surviving every day? By introducing commissions to work under them, we can work under the IAS. We can prevent the above-mentioned exploitations from happening. The mind is just like a muscle. The more you exercise it, and the stronger it gets, and the more it can exercise. By Irovo Koyenikan. By this, I like to end my presentation. These are the sources we collected our information from. Thank you. The Ministry of Finance and Commerce.
We will take only one question as we are running out of time. So here, Paul, you can ask the question.
Yes, so my question would be that one of the major problems of the financial sector in India is penetration, and many poor people in the rural areas don't even have a bank account till now. So what are your ideas on this, and how would you promote microloans for the farmers?
Our ministry planned to include this, but we did not have time. Thank you for asking this question. So we planned on making a different budget under another audit. We plan to make a different budget under the audit department for the farmers budget. We'll call that as farmers budget, and we would like to separate a different type of budget for them that would provide them loans, and also would like to spread awareness about loans. And we did include financial literacy, because many people in the rural area do not have the financial literacy to go to banks and make themselves loans. And I am sure the government is working on providing bank accounts to them. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Thank
we
you.
have our question now. Please put it in the chat box. Now I would like to call MSME and Mining Ministry to be there on their cameras and mics.
Yes,
Yes.
we are here.
Sure.
Honorable Speaker, can I get the permissions to share my screen?
Yes, Mahek ma'am, can you please do that? It is Ayushman Kaul and Akshat Singh.
They're all in the spotlight. Akshat Singh, can you raise your hand, please?
No, you can give permission to Ayushman.
No, I want to add him in spotlight. I'm not able to find
Okay,
Akshat.
okay. I have raised my hand.
You can lower your hand. Guys, start with the presentation.
Actually, I have not got the permission to share my screen.
I'll ask ma'am. Ma'am, can you
You are
give
the
them?
co-host. I just made you the co-host.
Ma'am, I'm not able to do.
Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Is my screen visible now?
Yes.
So, Honorable Speaker and Deputy Speaker and the members of Cabinet, as well as all the youth parliamentarians present over here. I, Ayushman Kaul, as a minister, and Akshat Singh, as Deputy Minister of MSME and Mining Ministry, are here to present the schemes, policies, and provisions and the grant for the grant number 6768 MSME and Mining Ministry for the financial year 2022 to 2023. The MSME sector accounts 95% of the industrial units and approximate 50% of the exports. Besides, the sector provides employment to almost 110 million people, making it second largest source of employment after agriculture. MSME provides large employment opportunities at low capital cost than larger industries. As per the information received from Central Statistics Office and Ministry of Statistics, share of MSME in all India gross domestic product for the year 2018 to 19 and 2019 to 2020 were 36.9% both. Further, the share of exports specified MSME related products to all India exports during 2019 to 20 and 2020 to 21 was 49.8% and 49.5% respectively. Got to know that MSME plays a huge role in nation building, so it becomes equal policies and schemes for the ministry. The ministry tried hard to form the policies and schemes for the MSME sector, so it keeps moving and contributing to the Indian economy. The main focus of the ministry was making the micro-scale industries, small-scale industries, and industries or business that operate at local rural level. The policies and schemes proposed for the financial year 2020 and 2023 are Dhan Santushti Yojana, or loans at minimal interest rate. In 2020 and 2021, 12,889 companies ran out of funds and shut down due to the lack of funds. So, addressing the problem, the ministry has proposed Dhan Santushti Yojana, in which 24% of the total budget will be allocated for the same scheme, providing loan to micro industries or the loans under 10 lakh at interest of 0% per annum. Loans to small and medium industries at interest of 1% per annum. 5% of the budget would be allocated to SSGs, self-help groups, to set up their own business, which will scale to local level. Loans help land and assets machinery to start up. Under the scheme, beneficiary will also have access to raw material at a cheaper cost. The second scheme proposed by the Development Program for MSME, or SDP for MSME. So the Indian MSME sector is energy equivalent to about 50 tons of oil annually. In India, it is also projected MSME contributes to roughly 70% of the industrial population. So the country spend around 19% of the budget to train operators to manufacture solar panels and solar batteries in India. Under the scheme SDP for MSME, funds will be provided to local organizations to expose micro industries to produce biogas, which later will be used by small and large industries. Under SDP for MSME, solar farms will be made to cover industries under MSME and industries 100% emission free. The third scheme proposed by our ministry is Upyogi Prashikshan Yojana. In this Yojana, about 26% of the budget will be allocated for specialized training of operators in MSME. Operators get training on how to cut down the cost of their services and make greater profits. They will also be exposed to new and advanced technology which they can use in the sector to work more efficiently. Under this Yojana, the training would also uncover the legal rights and duties and laws that are made to protect individuals from exploitation, and would gain an understanding on how to operate and grow under law as mentioned in our constitution. Our ministry also proposes to launch a mobile app for MSME Cares for the financial year 2022 and 23. 9% of the budget will be allocated to the development of app and connecting operators to the scheme. MSME Cares mobile app will be launched in order to connect producers directly to the consumers without anyone in the between product and the consumer. This mobile app.
Aishman, sorry to disturb you, but please hurry up now.
Yeah, we need. This mobile app will have from micro to large to get connected to other industries so that they can demand or order for the supplies from other industries. The app will make the operators technology empowered and create a strong online presence. Now, I would like to present the budget for the MSME sector for 2021 and 2022 and 23. So revised estimate for 21 and 2022 is around 31,589.91 crore in revenue and 2.83 in capital. The additional growth aim for 2022 and 23 is about 0.35% for revenue and 0.5% for the capital. The budget estimate would be around 42,646.37 crore, and for capital it would be around 4.25 crore. Now, I would like to hand over the command to the Deputy Minister of MSME and Mining Ministry to present the budget for grant number 68.
Thank you, Minister. The mining industry in India is a major economic activity which contributes significantly to the economy of India. The GDP contribution of the mining industry varies from 2.2% to 2.5% only. But going to the GDP of the total industrial sector, it contributes around 10% to 11%. Around 7 lakh individuals are employed in the mining industry. India depends on over 3,100 mines, out of which over 550 mines are fuel mines and 560 mines are for metal, and over 1,970 mines are for extraction of non-metals. Mining industry provide the country some of the most valuable metals like gold, silver, platinum. Apart from these, the mining sector also produces industrial metal for larger industries like steel, aluminium, iron, magnesium, silicon, etc. As we have got to know that mining has been providing employment to such a huge part of the population and equally contributing to the GDP. So the ministry had to take in consideration all the factors involving during the process to form policies and schemes for the ministry. Ministry had been committed to amplify the production so that a huge growth could be observed and set the record high to meet our expectations. The final main focus on ministry while making the policies and schemes were the welfare of workers working in mines and the development of infrastructure. The policies and schemes also target research and exploration. The first policy for our ministry is Adharavut Sanrachna Yojana. Around 17% of the total budget would be allocated to the scheme to work upon the infrastructure of mines. The security of mines would be improved and the mines would be made more stable in order to decrease the number of deaths of the mine workers, providing the pension to the family of workers who lost their life or get seriously injured due to any accident or mishap. Also, there would be a raise in the salaries of workers. Under the scheme, if any illegal mining happens in the government-owned mines, the dealer or contractor would be held guilty by law and would be punished for 5 years in jail and get a fine of 1.5 lakh. By the analysis of 2019 to 2020, we have found 19 cases of accident in mining, in which 15 were dead and 49 were seriously injured. The second policy for our ministry is Shramik Abhyas Yojana. About 12% of the budget allocated would be spent on providing specialized training to the workers and engineers working on ground. They would be trained on how to safely extract the metal without impacting the health as well as the environment. They would also be trained to execute the latest, smart, and advanced method that would help the efficiency go up. The third policy for our ministry is Anusandhan Vikas Yojana, AVY. 23% of the budget is proposed to be allocated in research and development of green mining technology. Under this Yojana, surveys would be conducted to get better knowledge of the geography and resource of our nation. Research and development would be done in the coal gasification project, as it has been providing to remove impurities like sulfur and mercury from coal to make it more efficient source of energy. The last policy from our ministry is enhancing output through sustained exploration and mining. Increase in production of silicon in India so that the production of electronic chips and process in India. Exploring lithium mines to increase the production of car batteries, which are the future of electric cars. Increase in iron ore mining to meet the demand of the global market. Production of industrial metal like steel, aluminium, and zinc would be intensified. Now, I would like to present the budget for our ministry. So, the revised estimate for Ministry of Mining for year 2021 to 2022 2022 was 1,712 crore 55 lakh rupees. And for this year, the financial year 2023, we are expecting an additional growth rate of 0.5%. And the budget estimate for Ministry of Mining is 2,568 crore 82 lakh rupees, from which revenue is going to get 2,417 crore 24 lakh, and capital is going to get 148 crore 149 lakh. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to present our budget over here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. Now, I would please raise your hands if you have any questions related to MSME and mining ministry, please.
And fast and quick. Make sure your questions are fast.
Yeah, please.
Please, if your
I
question.
think we have no questions in here. Rest of you can answer in chat box, right? So,
We'll be happy to answer the questions in the.
Please, can you
chat
yourself? Yeah. I think there are no questions. Akshat and Aishman, if there are any questions for you in the chat, please answer them.
Sure, we'll
So-
be happy to answer.
Yes,
Okay.
we are always there.
So we'll be moving on with Rural Development and Land Ministry. The Minister Manasa Reddy and Ishwar Ankit Choduwala, please present yourself and present your presentations.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. So may I get the permission to share my screen?
Yeah, one sec. I'll just add you in Manasa Reddy. Please raise your hand so it will be easy for ma'am to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, ma'am made me. I got it.
One sec. Manasa Reddy. Okay.
Is my
And-
video
I hope
visible?
you can see.
Okay.
I think someone is joining.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see?
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
your presentation. Please start with your.
Yeah. My warmful greetings to the Honorable Speaker and all the viewers present here. I am Sri Manasa Reddy as the Minister of Rural Development and Land Resources, along with the Deputy Minister Ishwar, are here to represent our Ministry of the National Youth Parliament. According to me, rural development is one of the important aspects that is connected with the development of the whole country. Approximately 68% of India's population lives in rural areas. So, if the rural areas develop, urban areas also develop more automatically on its own. And here we are going to propose some of the policies that are going to help in the development of rural areas. So, coming to the first one, increase the literacy rate in the rural areas of India. We need to put on a lots of efforts to increase the literacy rate in the rural areas, as many of the people living in rural villages and areas are not well educated. If the people are well educated, they could put on their own efforts to develop the rural areas, which could indirectly help in the development of the whole nation. If the people are if the people are well educated, they can try to prevent the obstacles for the development of the rural areas. So, for this to happen, we need to strengthen our educational facilities in rural areas. The government can build schools to motivate the young and as well as the older people, and it is also called as Gramina Vayojana Vidya, which means education for old people. We can increase the attendance of the students in rural schools by providing free nutritious food and good facilities in schools for the children. And coming to the next one, we need to develop strong infrastructure in the agricultural sector. We can also develop rural areas by strengthening the infrastructure in the agricultural sector by providing the technical services to the farmers and by providing supporting prices in the farmers and necessary inputs and implement mechanization to increase productivity. Government should standardize cropping areas based on the demands of crops during every season and during the whole year so that every farmers will get profits on what they produce for every crop season and for every year. Government will also promise to give the basic inputs to the farmers for good crop yield. So farmers will be benefiting. So over to Ishwar.
To all the speakers, to all the honorable speakers, to all the ministers, organizers, and to all my viewers, Namaskar and good evening. This is Ishwar Ankit, the Deputy Minister for Rural Development and Land Resources, hereby continue with the proceedings of our ministry. To begin with, one of the most majorly prevalent problems which we had witnessed over the time is the lack of a particular precise system through which people could actually express all of their problems or grievances to the ministry or authority. Keeping this, also in addition to that, unfortunately, over the past few years, this problem has been unheard. And to tackle this problem, we, the Ministry of Rural Development and Land Resources, in association with the Ministry of Communication, have come forward with a dedicated toll-free number, wherein our primary objective is to create a telephonic platform wherein people could freely present all of their problems verbally to through the portal, and can actually and a call recording of this is sent to the ministry further. And secondly, in case of not having access to the cellular network, in such cases, we, in association with the Department of Posts, have come forward with a specially designed postcard through which people can actually express all of their problems. And the design of this postcard is such that people who are illiterates can also freely express their problem, so that literacy is not a barrier towards expression. The postcards used over here will be the feedback postcards, wherein this is funded by the government. See, on the other hand, a 1 week of span is allocated after the message sent by the sender, wherein the Ministry of Rural Development and Land Resources would thoroughly go through the problem, get ourselves acquainted with it, and if it is approved if it is acceptable, then we would approve it and get in touch with the concerned authority and try to postulate a basic plan of action and would reveal the shareable data to the sender in the span of 2 weeks. This is what is the procedure which we would like to inculcate to express our replies to a large bulk of messages and phone calls. While talking about the population of India, I want each and every one of the listener over here that the major portion of the Indian population is still under the rural areas, and any of our small contribution.
It is not moving. The slides are not moving. We are on the first slide.
Yeah, when I request my minister to please move the slides to the 6th one.
Ma'am, actually I'm moving, ma'am. I think you can't see that. I'll just share it once again.
No, it's not moving.
It's not moving. Just share once again or refresh your page.
Oh, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see your PPT.
Yeah, we can see slide 1.
Now can you see the second slide?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you can continue.
Can you please move it to the 6th slide, Minister?
Yes, I have moved it.
Thank you. It is important that we remember the fact that around 68% of the Indian population still resides in the rural areas. Therefore, whatever is our contribution or service rendered, that is directly or indirectly, that will come in contact with the rural areas. Therefore, I request that our collective cooperation in rendering the services will actually be noticeable and a great game changer in bringing out the change for the country. We are always open for such associations, and some of our actions are in association with the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. We wish to generate job opportunities on the lines of Indian skill set and culture. Also, in addition to that, we would like to inculcate the concept of vocational training right from the school level in association with the Ministry of Education. In association with the Ministry of Healthcare and Ayush, we wish to work together in the improvisation of hospitals in rural areas, right from the availability of beds to the aiming for the qualities of service rendering and promote Ayurveda and its service in rural areas. Also, in association with Ministry of Railways, we wish to commence or restart the Lifeline Express, which was initially initiated back in 2006 with reduced staff and intervals of time, keeping COVID-19 pandemic in view. In association with the Ministry of Agriculture, we wish to be aware with all the landscapes and demographies of all the landscapes, and the cultivable lands available in the rural areas, and also about the different types of crops being produced in different rural areas. Lastly, we expect to contribute in associations in every possible way and would like to help rural areas flourish. Having said that, I would like to say that contribution together will lead to catapulting forever. Having said that, I would like to thank each and every one of my listeners for being with me, for your kind cooperation, and your questions are always welcomed. Jai Hind.
And so coming to the budget estimate, we have designed the budget by seeing last 5-year budget preparation and also by counting the schemes. So we divided the overall budget as per the grants. So for the grant number 86, we allocated 2,01,896 crores for the Department of Rural Development, and for grant 87 we allocated 1,303 crores, and the department is for land resources. May this budget be helpful for the whole country, India. We also expect the Indian budget to grow at 3.40% in all the ministries. Thank you everyone who are present here, and I would like to end this presentation by telling a small quote. Working together, we can do more to improve the quality of life for all our people living in rural areas. Thank you.
I think it's time for asking question. Deepali,
anyone's questions are welcome.
Okay, Deepali, can you unmute and ask your question?
Yes, thank you, Speaker, for giving me the chance. I heard that in its budget, the Ministry of Rural Development and Land Resources mentioned about giving free nutritious food to students to increase the turnout number in school. So since we know that the midday meal scheme is already there and everybody knows the quality of food they are providing, so how do you plan to manage to maintain the good quality of food in schools?
So I think the midday meal scheme is already there and they're providing nutritious food, and we will ensure that for overall the years which comes or which goes, we will be providing good nutritious food for all the people, so that malnutrition, undernutrition may not be occurring in rural areas.
Okay, if you guys are done with your questions, whoever has raised their hands, please write the questions in chat, and the rural development ministers will answer your questions in chat.
Okay, now I would like to call Mr. Goyal and Om Kapoor to present the budget of Science and Technology Ministry.
Can you please make the presenter? I have raised the hand.
Anthony, please.
Ma'am,
Now you are the co-host.
Yeah, you're the co-host, Mr. and one sec.
Yeah.
Is
my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. A very warm good
Who's your
evening.
deputy?
Ma'am Om Kapoor, Deputy Minister.
Kapoor, can you raise your hand? I cannot see you.
Ma'am, I've added him in the spotlight. I think he's raising his hand once. Yeah.
Ma'am, may I start?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. A very warm good evening to Honorable Finance Minister, the Deputy Speaker, and to all the parliamentarians present here. Today, I, Nishtha Goyal, the Minister of Science and Technology, and our Deputy Minister, Om Kapoor, hereby present the ministerial speech for 2022 to 23, the upcoming year. Our ministry basically covers 6 grants: Department of Biotechnology, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and finally, the Department of Science and Technology. Firstly, focusing on the Ministry of Earth and Sciences. There are various problems faced by this ministry. However, the prominent 2 problems which we have highlighted are uncontrolled urbanization and inequality in weather forecasting. To overcome these problems, our ministry has launched Mission Forecast Uptake. This mission aims to improve the accuracy of weather forecast to bring it par with the international standards. Another major project that we have planned to launch this year is Green Urban Mission. This has been implemented to improve the conditions of large cities in terms of green cover through ash pond management, afforestation vehicles, etc. We are pleased to announce that our ministry, in collaboration with IMD, has launched an application named Natural Apada. This app will majority warn people about even a minute possibility of weather disturbance that may occur within an hour. It will also immediately suggest protocols to be taken by the people in potentially affected areas. Now, the second major department that I would like to highlight is the Department of Biotechnology. The key challenges faced by this department is the lack of societal awareness about biotechnology owing to the wide gap that exists between it and the grassroots levels. So, to overcome such problem, our ministry has proposed the scheme Bharatiya Jeev Vigyan Startup Scheme. Since there is less enthusiasm and awareness about biotechnical world, this scheme aims to promote micro biotechnical startups in districts and backward areas. Thus, under this scheme, it is aimed to spring up about 3,000 startups funded by government, which will be followed by 10,000 all over India. Another major target of ours would be encouraging youth to pursue their careers in biotechnology. Thus, we have come up with another program, that is Youth Biotech Center of Skill. This mission would be collaborated with Skill India Mission, so that along with vocational skills, young generation becomes equipped with some scientific skills too. Initially, we plan to implement this in 400 districts, which will be extended to 750 in later half of the year. The lack of global recognition is another major problem that our ministry has addressed upon. The initiative that has been undertaken by us to resolve this problem is organizing an Indian Biotech Fair of Innovation.
This is an effective communication strategy that has been adopted by us for projecting growth and success of biotechnological sector to a global audience, thus attracting FDI. The third major department that I would like to focus upon is the Indian space sector. Although our nation has been placed in 5th or 6th position in global space ranking, but a lot more has to be done to improve its growth. The major challenges that has been faced by the sector is the lack of active participation of youth to pursue aerospace career. Thus, to overcome this problem, our ministry have proposed to launch an all India aerospace camp. Under this program, more than 100 students will be selected all across the India having space inclination and will be given special training by scientists so that they can pursue their career as aerospace scientists in future years. Being special emphasis laid on girls, another program will be launched that is Mahila Aerospace Camp with similar implementation. We are pleased to announce that our ministry has decided to allow private sector companies participation in space mission. To engage this model, we have decided to launch a major scheme, Atmanirbhar Bharat Antariksh Udan Yojana. Under this scheme, private companies would be encouraged to collaborate with government agencies to increase the efficiency of Indian space sector. Our key focus would be a setting up of schools, space labs in schools, so that space can be introduced to school students at a younger stage. Under this initiative, we aim to establish such labs in more than 5,000 schools in the first phase, and it will be extended to more than 14 lakh in the later half part of the year. Now, I would like to call Mr. Om Kapoor, the Deputy Minister, to hand over the speech.
Before you continue, please can you complete it fast? You're running out of time. Nishta, you're out of your mute, and I think Om is not in the meeting. Om is not in the meeting. Please continue with your presentation.
Okay, so I would like to focus upon the Department of Atomic Energy now. The key role of this department is that it deals with development of nuclear power technology, medicinal field, and also lays a great stress on encouraging young scientists to become better assets. The key focus areas that we have highlighted is, although various big institutions are present throughout the country, but this year our main focus will be on developing and making it affordable to each and every young, grown, talented scientist in our country. Also, this year our focus will be on establishing various nuclear power plants across the nation and also increase the use of nuclear energy as a whole. There will also be establishment of various places for visiting and knowing about atomic energy and its use, which would therefore lead to spread of knowledge among the common.
Okay, I think we can begin with the next ministry. I think both of them have been disconnected.
Yeah,
Ma'am, I'm here. Actually, I got disconnected. So may I please again share the screen?
Yes, Nishta, but one advice. Please can you hurry up?
Yeah, just last department is left. Let me go.
Yeah, hurry up. Yeah.
Just wait a minute. So I was on new scheme that is organized by us. That is the new Parmanu Pure Yojana. So under this scheme, we have launched
Under this scheme, we have aimed to increase the safety measures in the atomic energy centers and provide better workplace for the working people in this sector. Now I would like to move on to Department of Scientific and Industrial Research. This Department of Science and Industrial Research include various aspects related to indigenous technology promotion and development. The new scheme that we have proposed to launch is Swadeshi Pradyogiki Uday Yojana. The main objective of this Yojana will cover up is the development of native technological industries and research center. It will also emphasize on making indigenous industry more advanced and spread across the whole country. The other suggestions that our ministry has proposed are that in number first, ensuring educational curriculum needs to be aligned to prepare students as per the industry demands. Secondly, programs on skill Vigyan for life sciences and biotechnology in state science biotechnological councils to be expanded to all states of the country. Thirdly, create Udan centers for future technology to train the upcoming generation and nurture the researchers further to make them generation leaders. Now, I would like to focus upon the budgetary allocations that our ministry has decided to different departments. Now, for Department of Biotechnology, our ministry has allocated rupees 4,703 crores. For scientific and industrial research, we have allocated 7,780 crores. Ministry of Earth Sciences have been allocated 2,636 crores. Department of Space has been allocated 19,257 crores. Similarly, for Department of Atomic Energy, we have allocated 28,290.97 crores. Now, I would like to thank to all the listeners for being a part of this. Thank you for being an active listener of my speech. Thank
Now
you.
we would
Now I'm
take
open
only
to all the
one
questions.
question. We would take only one question from Samir. Rest of the people can put their question in chat box.
Okay, so I want to ask that there are so many youth ideas about biology field under the Ministry of Science and Technology. How would your ministry cater to those ideas?
See, there is a very much potential in our country to increase the biotechnology sector, but the people do not have the awareness about what the careers can be. So we have launched that we will create various workshops